Hello and welcome to Maple Flavored Yoga. My name is Andy and this is Dr. Claw. If you found your way to this class, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my new releases which come out on Mondays. Also hit the like button and leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Any feedback is always welcome. So as always, we'll come into this space fully arriving on our mats. Taking a moment to connect with our breath. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to the people of South Asia who have created and cultivated this beautiful yoga practice that we get to share today. If your eyes were closed, you may blink them open, taking in your surroundings. And we'll get right into it. So this is just going to be a fun flow class, just trying to open up our bodies and really connecting with our breath and movement. So to start, we'll come into tabletop and we'll come into a cat-cow. So inhale, chin lifts to the sky. Exhale, we'll push the ground away, rolling through the spine. You can drop your head here. Inhale up. Exhale, round. Inhale up. Exhale, round. We'll continue for a few breaths here, just following your own breath. Making sure that our inhales and our exhales are somewhat similar in duration. We'll come back to a neutral spine. From here, we will tuck our toes and push off. So we're just hovering our knees a millimeter off the mat. Really active here through our core. Nice long neck. Use your breath to move through the uncomfortable areas. And our next exhale, we'll push back, lifting our sit bones to the sky, still keeping our knees really bent. And if you want, you can come really high onto the balls of your feet or onto your toes. And enjoy this opening through the arches and the bottoms of our feet. Exhale, we can begin to straighten our legs nice and slow. We can pedal our feet here. Sway your hips from side to side if that feels good. Allowing opening of the side body and the back body. And then we can come to stillness. Through 3 breaths. Next inhale, we'll raise our right foot into the sky. Exhale, we'll step forward. And inhale, come into a high lunge or crescent lunge. Making sure that if you're feeling kind of wobbly, you can bring your feet hip width apart. That's what they should be. Your hip point should be pointing forward. So if you're feeling a little unstable, see if your feet are wide enough. Fingertips are extended to the sky. Your knee should not be over it shouldn't surpass your ankle. Enjoy this opening through your hip flexor. And exhale, we'll come down, bringing our fingertips to the floor. And we're going to step our left foot up to meet our right. You can bring your toes together, your big toe mounts together, or keep your feet hip width apart. So from here, we're gonna exhale, drape over our thighs. Inhale, straighten our legs. Halfway lift, exhale, we'll drape. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, drape. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, drape. Inhale, halfway lift. And from here, we're going to bend our left knee, and we're going to keep our fingers intended towards the floor of our left hand. So if your fingers aren't reaching the floor, you can use a book or a block here, or you can just keep your fingertips pointed towards the floor. If your fingers are on the floor, your palm is flat, we're going to inhale our right arm up and gazing over that right thumb, allowing that lengthening through the back of our right leg. Exhale, release, bringing our right hand or fingertips or whatever variation, it might be different on this side. And we're going to bend our right knee and inhale our left arm up, gazing over that thumb. If this is uncomfortable for your neck, you can look to the side or down to the floor, whatever's comfortable. Exhale, we will bring that hand down to the floor. We'll come into this forward fold. So if your hands are on the floor, that's great. If not, you can grab the backs of your thighs or your calves. You don't really want to be wrenching your chest to your thighs, but just to give that nice little assist. And we're always hinging from our hips. We don't want to be up here and using our thoracic spine or our lumbar spine, hinging from the hips. We'll do 3 breaths here. Inhale, we'll rise. Hands above our head. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then hands down by our sides. We're going to put weight into our right foot and allow our left foot to hover off the floor. And then we're going to slowly bring that back, coming into like a warrior 3 variation, and slowly, slowly, slowly stepping our toes back, coming back into that high lunge or that crescent lunge. Take a moment to set up here so you're feeling really strong and solid in this pose. If you'd like, you can tilt your heart to the sky. We want to intend our heart up so we're reaching up through our thoracic spine, creating space for our vertebrae to create this bend. Exhale, slowly fingertips come back to the mat. We're going to be pushing into our hands so much so that our right foot gets light, and we can step back into downward dog. 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, we'll inhale our left foot up. Slowly stepping it forward. We're coming into that crescent lunge, high lunge on the other side. Allow yourself to Feel the different sensations. Each side's going to be different. Maybe your right hand dominant or right side dominant. So maybe you're a bit tighter in your hip flexors on this side. But really enjoy this really powerful, beautiful pose. And we will slowly bring our fingertips to the mat again. Stepping into that left foot, right foot becomes light. We'll come and bring that foot back up to the top of the mat. And from here, we're going to come in to chair pose. This is not my favorite pose. So we want to make sure that we're not really leaning forward. Our toes should still be light. Sitting into this pose, allowing your thighs to shake as much as they need to. I know mine are. Back should still be flat, we're not curling to the spine. One more big breath here. Exhale, we'll fold forward, coming into that forward fold again. And we'll take 3 breaths in this forward fold, so take whatever variation you require, whatever feels okay in your body, finding that minimum edge and then melting into it. Okay, one more big breath because it feels really good for me. I don't know, I hope it feels good for you too. So inhale, exhale, let something go. Inhale, hinging from our hips, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then hands down by our side in mountain pose. Transferring weight to our left foot. Kind of suctioning that femur into your hip socket, allowing your foot to just kind of hover above the mat. And then slowly we'll hinge back. Lots of energy pouring out of your fingertips and your toes. Take a very, very slow, calculated step back. Find your tippy toes on the mat, and then inhale back into the high lunge. We're trying to stack our heel right above our toes. That doesn't always happen, and that's okay, but that's what we're trying to intend anyway. So we have a really nice, beautiful long stance. The energy is really pushing out the ball of your foot. Opening up that hip, and if you want, you can tilt your heart to the sky. Don't forget to breathe here. Exhale, fingertips slowly sprinkle to the mat. We're pushing really hard into our hand. Our right leg is really charged. Left foot becomes light. And step back into downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. So from here, we're going to do kind of a figure 4 downward dog, hybrid, what have you. So we're going to really make sure that our right foot is glued to the mat well. We're going to take our left foot and bring it to our right thigh, making that figure 4 shape. Then we're going to bend into that right knee. And this will give you a really nice opening along the outside of your left glute and your hip, maybe into your hamstrings. And we can release that. Bringing our left foot to the mat, we're going to do that on the other side. So bringing our right foot across onto our left thigh and then bending into that knee. Allowing that opening into our glute and hip on our right side. This is a tricky balance as well, so you really need to make sure that your hands are stuck to the mat. And we'll release that there. Into our downward dog. Inhale, coming up on our tippy toes, waving forward to plank. Exhale, bend the knees and we'll come back to downward dog. Inhale, we'll wave forward once again. Exhale, wave back. Inhale, wave forward, nice and slowly. Exhale, back. Inhale, wave forward one more time. And you can come into knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana, whichever suits you better. Whew, I'm already toasty. All right, so we're actually going to make our way on to our backs. Nice and slowly. And from here, we're going to come into bridge pose. So we want to make sure that our feet are close to our glutes. So much so that you can tickle the heels of your feet with your fingertips. We want to make sure that our feet are still hip width apart though. So on your next inhale, you're going to push into the floor, raising your hips up to the ceiling. Really making sure that you're active through your thighs and your glutes, but you don't want to be really clenching really hard into your glutes. So they're active, they're firing, but it's not like a clenching sensation. Exhale, we'll come down. We'll just get a little bit familiar with this. So inhale up again. Exhale, we'll hold. We'll do 3 breaths here. If you'd like, you can also walk your shoulders kind of underneath to create a bigger back bend, and then release your fingers, and then you can really push your heart up to the ceiling just a little bit more, as long as it's comfortable for your neck. Really inflate your belly with breath. Exhale, we can slowly make our way back down. When we're pushing up into bridge, we want to make sure that our knees aren't slaying out to the side or coming in. We want to make sure that there's still like 2 railroad tracks. They don't move. They might move a little bit occasionally, but if you notice that, then try and correct that, because when you're holding your legs kind of in that parallel position, then you're really utilizing all those stabilizing muscles as well as really using your quads and your glutes. Right, Dr. Claw? She loves bridge pose, obviously. So we'll try this again. So inhale up. We're gonna hold for 3 breaths. If you want to put your arms underneath, by all means do so. Next exhale, we'll slowly come down. So, excuse me, Dr. Claw. If you'd like, you can come up to bridge. We're gonna do 2 more times because we're going to try that figure 4 again, but this time in the bridge. You're going to have to maybe move your leg, your supporting leg, the leg that's going to stay on the ground, more center. Or we're going to take our other leg, whichever leg you want. So I'm going to do my, cross my right foot over first. So everything's the same. It's just going to be a bit more of a challenge, obviously. If you fall over, who cares? It's all just part of the journey, it's part of the experience. So everything should be set up pretty much the same, except for your floor foot is going to be more midline. And for this, we will keep our hands to the side just to help with some stability. If you want to try and put your arms underneath like we did with the regular bridge, you can. But yes, I'm going to keep my hands on the ground. So we'll inhale to rise. Exhale, hold for 2 more breaths. Exhale slowly down. That was definitely tough. Sometimes you'll see people with their foot up in the air too. So that's another variation you can try. So we'll switch feet. My right foot's on the floor now, left foot is crossed. Just want to make sure that my foot is close enough to my glutes. All right. Your next inhale, push into the ground. Our hips get light. Trying to keep that hip still open. Toes on the floor are light. Next exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly come down. Now that was interesting. I haven't done that in quite some time, so it's always fun to revisit poses that you haven't done in a while and see how they feel different in your body. So yeah, that's pretty cool. From here, we will come into Happy Baby. So knees are coming along the sides of your body, and we're gently pulling down on our feet, or you can grab your shins or the backs of your thighs, or you can always grab a strap or a towel and wrap around your feet as well. If you'd like, you can rock from side to side here. And then we'll bring our knees together and come into this little seed. You can bring your head to your knees if you would like. Give yourself a nice, yummy squish. And then we'll drop our knees to the right or the left. Coming into this nice spinal twist here. You can look over your shoulder, that's the opposite to your knees. Allow some softening here. Inhale back to center, and then exhale, we'll drop our knees to the other side. Looking over that opposite shoulder if it feels good. Inhale back to center, and we're going to get ready for Shavasana. So, oop, sorry, plant. My snake plant. Oops. So take a moment and get comfortable here. You can put pillows or yoga blocks underneath of your knees if that's feels comfortable for you, or you can, if it's uncomfortable to be right on your back, your low back like that, then you can bring your feet as wide as your mat and then bring your knees together. So lots of modifications. And then when you have found your spot, try and just drop in, releasing any command of the breath that you had. Allow your breath to come naturally. Allow your more subtle layers to do the work. This is where we get to integrate all that we've created through our practice into the deeper layers of our being. And your body already knows what to do, so no worries. There's no way to do it wrong. If you have the time, I strongly suggest you taking a longer Shavasana, just hitting pause on the video. But if you feel like you're ready, or if you have somewhere to get to, you can begin to introduce some movement back into your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes. You're going to roll out your wrists and flop your feet in and out. Give yourself a great big stretch like you do in the morning. And then one at a time, bring your knees back into your chest. And give yourself another great big hug. And then you can drop your knees to one side, roll to whichever side feels best, and take a moment there to collect yourself. And then when you feel ready, you can slowly make your way back to seated. Trying to keep your eyes closed or having a soft gaze. We'll take a moment to look internally. Take inventory of our experience, allowing whatever arises to be there without having to change it. And bring our hands to heart center, bowing our heads. I want to thank you so much for allowing me to assist in your yoga practice. Wherever this life takes you, know that you are seen, you are loved, and you are divine. Take care.